right, we are at the point right now where we've finished mixing the drums, at least at this point. Now we're going to throw in the bass. So let's go ahead and do that. I want to make sure I'm not missing much. Nope, I'm not. Cool. So we're just going to listen to the bass by itself and get the bass mix good to go. So I like starting with the bass dirty, not bass dirty, bass sub-octave, subharmonic, which is this. Oh, that didn't work, so we'll solo it. Just beautiful bass. I believe Skylar was playing bass here. Bro is, yeah, no, it wasn't Skylar. It might have been Brad. Beautiful sounding bass, either way. Both are just amazing musicians. So, you know, we've already done the game. Sounds good there. Let me show you what the F6 is doing here. So if we take it out, you just hear my mids come back, and God knows, ain't nobody need any mids. Just don't need them. So it creates a little bit of a scooped sound, and you can see that that's obviously what we're doing here, where we're getting this nice low end, and then we don't have a ton of information up in the top, which is where our bass dirty comes in. So there we go. This sounds like a very full bass now. The F6, they are not linked together, so if I make a change here, it will not change it on the bass DI1. The thought process behind that is because this is adding a bunch of distortion. It needs to be EQ'd differently, and you can see that it is. This is more aggressive. So if we bypass them all, you just hear this this 250, 500 area come up, and it's muddying up what we're listening to right now, so imagine what it's going to do in the mix. Now, I'm pretty happy with what I got going here. For bass clean, this is just solid, sounds fine. Too much mid for me. I want more lows in this. I want more distortion in this. Really, this is just adding more mid, and sometimes it needs it. Sometimes it doesn't. I don't think it does most of the time. You know, actually here I might take it. So, you know, that's the thing with sound, is it changes. Cool. So if we'll listen to, because you always want to make these, you know, EQ decisions in context. Compression, any decision you make in mixing, you want to make in context with something else. Specifically here, we want to make decisions based off of the drums with everything. So I'm going to throw the drums back in. We're actually sitting pretty good. My kick and my bass are working super nice here. I could use a bit more shake. I'm going to come to my F6 and turn my EQ up on my shake. It gives me that nice low mid sound. Maybe a touch much. And I am also listening on headphones, not the speakers I have here, so this would change if I'm listening to on these speakers. So you might be curious. Okay, I showed you what the F6 is. This is basically an EQ. It will also do some dynamic EQ. So you can see when the threshold is passed here, the gain is reduced by 1.1. Better to see here. So when the threshold is passed, this is how much is getting taken away. It is not at, actually, is it at 8? Yeah, it's at 8. So, and then here's how fast and how slow it does that. So the CL here, what this does is what it's doing is it's tricking our brain into thinking that the bass and the kick are locked together. So you'll see when the kick is played, you're seeing compression happen here, which this actually needs to be hitting harder. So if you can hear, the bass is being ducked every time the kick hits. Now it's happening so quick that it makes room for the low end of the kick, and then it goes away, so that it just cleans up the low end in the mix a little bit, because the kick low end and the bass low end are already going to be at odds with each other. So you got to pick one. And right now our foundation, the lowest instrument, if you look at the R bass here, which this is adding subharmonic information, which is like the shake stuff, it's at 40. The kick R bass is sitting up here at 62. So that is that. So listening to everything in context here, let's see how it sounds. So I'm just hitting space to get things to loop. First thing that stands out to me is I got a lot of cymbals, and I just don't like them. I just don't. So, and you can hear from my floor tom that I'm getting a lot of bleed because my gates are too low. We talked about that last video. Bring those up a touch. So let's put them back in. It's a little bit better. It's a little bit further in the background. And you got to realize that our overheads, our crowd mics are going to bring a lot of cymbals into our mix. So I'm now going to go on to the melody.